The shining star Shelley Duvall dead at 75 after years of struggles. Shelley Duvall, renowned for her distinctive wide-eyed and delicate appearance, has passed away at the age of 75 due to complications from diabetes, as confirmed by her partner, Dan Gilroy, to Variety. She was a celebrated actress, notably receiving the Cannes Award for her role in Robert Altman's Three Women. Additionally, she is remembered for her role in The Shining, where she faced the rigorous demands of working with director Stanley Kubrick. Gilroy expressed his grief in a statement saying, "My dear, sweet, wonderful life partner and friend left us last night. Too much suffering lately, now she's free. Fly away, beautiful Shelley." The production of The Shining was an extensive process that took over a year to complete. Kubrick, known for his high expectations and tough directing style, pushed Duvall to her limits during filming. Some scenes, such as the baseball sequence, were particularly challenging and required over 100 takes, earning a place in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most takes of a dialogue scene. In a later interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Duvall opened up about the challenging experience of filming The Shining. She described the physical and emotional toll it took on her, saying, "After a while, your body rebels. It says, 'Stop doing this to me. I don't want to cry every day.' And sometimes just that thought alone would make me cry." She recalled the dread of waking up on a Monday morning, knowing she had to cry all day because it was part of the schedule, which would cause her to start crying even before the cameras rolled. Duvall expressed her amazement at her ability to continue performing under such conditions, a sentiment shared by her co-star Jack Nicholson, who also told her, "I don't know how you do it." Duvall leaves behind her partner, the musician Dan Gilroy, and her brothers Scott, Stuart, and Shane. As we remember Shelley Duvall, we can reflect on her extraordinary life and career, which was marked by both brilliant achievements and challenging experiences in the film industry. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos, please comment OK if you find this video interesting. Thank you. Shelley Duvall entered the world on the 7th of July, 1949, in Fort Worth, Texas. She was born to Bobby Ruth Crawford, who worked as a real estate broker, and Robert Richardson, Bobby Duvall, who started as a cattle auctioneer and later became a lawyer. Shelley was the eldest of 4 children, with 3 younger brothers named Scott, Shane, and Stuart. During her childhood, Duvall's family moved frequently across Texas because of her father's occupation. It wasn't until she was around 5 years old that they finally settled down in Houston. From the beginning, Duvall exhibited a lively and creative spirit. Her mother affectionately called her Manic Mouse due to her habit of running around their home and accidentally knocking over furniture. Shelley Duvall's educational journey began at Waltrip High School in Houston, where she participated in school plays, marking the start of her acting experience. Upon her graduation in 1967, she took up a job as a cosmetic salesperson at Foley's department store for a short period. Duvall then moved on to South Texas Junior College to study nutrition and diet therapy, with initial ambitions of becoming a research scientist. In 1970, during a party, Duvall was spotted by talent scouts while she was promoting her husband Bernard Sampson's artwork. Robert Altman, a director, was captivated by her distinctive on-screen presence and offered her a part in his film Brewster McCloud. Despite having no formal acting training, Duvall initially declined the offer. However, she later accepted to take a screen test, which marked the beginning of her illustrious acting career that lasted for more than 30 years. Shelley Duvall's career took a significant turn in 1970 when she was discovered by the renowned director Robert Altman at a Houston party. Even without any formal acting background, Duvall's distinctive screen presence captivated Altman, leading him to offer her a role in his dark comedy film Brewster McCloud. Although she initially declined the proposal, Duvall later consented to a screen test and successfully secured the part, which marked the beginning of her successful acting career. Throughout her career, Duvall garnered various awards for her diverse performances. She notably won the Best Actress Award at the 1977 Cannes Film Festival for her portrayal in Altman's psychological drama Three Women. Additionally, she was nominated for a BAFTA for Best Actress for the same film. Duvall's recognition extended to nominations for 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, one for Outstanding Animated Program for Shelley Duvall's Bedtime Stories in 1992, and another for Outstanding Children's Program for Tall Tales and Legends in 1988. She also received a Cable Ace Award in 1994 for Children's Programming Series for Shelley Duvall's Bedtime Stories. Duvall's career was notably marked by her collaborations with Robert Altman, who featured her in several of his notable films. Following her debut in Brewster McCloud, Duvall delivered memorable performances in Altman's McCabe and Mrs. Miller, Thieves Like Us, the ensemble drama Nashville, and the western Buffalo Bill and the Indians. Shelley Duvall's most memorable role was arguably as Wendy Torrance in Stanley Kubrick's 1980 horror masterpiece, The Shining. The demanding nature of Kubrick's directorial style subjected Duvall to an intensely challenging filming experience, with certain scenes necessitating more than 100 takes. Despite these difficulties, Duvall's portrayal of the troubled wife to Jack Nicholson's Jack Torrance emerged as one of the film's most unforgettable performances. Beyond her acting endeavors, Duvall achieved success as a producer, pioneering creative children's programming through her production company, Think Entertainment. She took on both producing and starring roles in the anthology series Fairy Tale Theatre and Tall Tales and Legends, which garnered her additional Emmy nominations. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos, please comment OK if you find this video interesting. Thank you. Shelley Duvall came into the world on July 7, 1949, in Fort Worth, Texas. She was born to Bobby Ruth Crawford, who worked as a real estate broker, and Robert Richardson Bobby Duvall, who transitioned from being a cattle auctioneer to a lawyer. Duvall was the eldest of 4 children, with 3 younger brothers named Scott, Shane, and Stuart. Despite having a bustling household, Duvall characterized her childhood home as a quiet place. In her personal life, Duvall has been discreet about her romantic relationships. It is public knowledge that she was married to artist Bernard Sampson in the early 1970s. But the marriage ended in divorce in 1974. Following her divorce, Duvall had a romantic relationship with singer-songwriter Paul Simon for 2 years. Additionally, she was known to have dated musician Ringo Starr for some time. Despite her prominence in the entertainment industry, Duvall has consistently chosen to keep her personal life away from the public eye, favoring a low-profile lifestyle that distances her from the Hollywood limelight. As she entered her later years, Duvall opted for a more tranquil and secluded lifestyle after retiring from acting in the early 2000s. She relocated back to Texas, where she has spent the last 2 decades living in a small town in the Hill Country. Speaking on her decision to move away from the public gaze, Duvall revealed that she has a passion for writing poetry and has aspirations to publish a book of her work one day. She also expressed her love for raising animals and relishing the serene rural ambience of her Texas home. Throughout her career, Shelley Duvall was dedicated to producing high-quality children's programming through her production companies, Platypus Productions and Think Entertainment. She was responsible for producing well-received shows such as Fairy Tale Theatre, Tall Tales and Legends, and Nightmare Classics, all of which were designed to both educate and entertain young viewers. In 2016, Vivian Kubrick, the daughter of The Shining director Stanley Kubrick and a former co-star of Duvall, initiated a fundraising campaign to provide support for Duvall. This came after it became known that Duvall was facing mental health challenges. Kubrick voiced her worries about Duvall's well-being and criticized a proposed TV interview, arguing that it would take advantage of Duvall's mental state. Although Duvall has not been actively involved in numerous charitable causes or activist movements in the public eye, her contributions to children's television reflect her intention to make a positive difference in the lives of young people by offering them programming that is both engaging and enriching. Throughout her life, Shelley Duvall has been involved in several events that have drawn the public's attention. One of the most talked about incidents was her 2016 appearance on the Dr. Phil show, during which she seemed to be grappling with mental health problems. In the interview, she made distressing remarks, including the belief that her co-star from Popeye, Robin Williams, was still alive and capable of shape-shifting. This led to a wave of criticism, with many deeming the interview unethical and exploitative. Vivian Kubrick, daughter of Stanley Kubrick and a former collaborator of Duvall, publicly denounced the segment on Twitter. Duvall has also endured considerable personal sorrow that has affected her life and career. In 2002, she decided to leave acting and return to Texas, her home state, when her brother was diagnosed with spinal cancer. She referred to this period as the lengthiest sabbatical she had ever taken, as it was prompted by a desire to be close to her family during this challenging time. Looking back on this period, Duvall stated, "My family came before my career. I had to be there for my brother and the rest of my loved ones. Acting just didn't seem as important anymore." This selfless choice to put her family's health above her own career ambitions highlights Duvall's commendable character. In spite of the various challenges Duvall encountered, including her battles with mental health, she has displayed extraordinary resilience and determination to rise above her difficulties. Following an extended break from acting, Duvall made a notable comeback to the screen in 2023, taking on a supporting role in the independent horror film The Forest Hills. During an interview, Duvall conveyed her enduring enthusiasm for acting, saying, "I never lost my love for the craft. Even during the toughest times, being on set and bringing a character to life is what truly fulfills me." This statement highlights Duvall's steadfast dedication to her craft and her determination not to let life's challenges define her. Duvall's ability to bounce back and grow stronger in the face of personal adversity has garnered the respect and admiration of both her peers and her fans. As she once remarked, "Every hardship we face is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned, even if the journey hasn't always been easy." Throughout her illustrious career, Shelley Duvall forged strong working relationships and friendships with several prominent individuals in the entertainment industry. Her most notable collaboration was with the celebrated director Robert Altman, who featured her in a number of his distinguished films, such as Brewster McCloud, McCabe and Mrs. Miller, Thieves Like Us, and the ensemble drama Nashville. Duvall also had a romantic relationship with the acclaimed singer-songwriter Paul Simon during the mid-1970s. The couple co-starred in Altman's 1980 musical comedy Popeye, with Duvall taking on the iconic role of Olive Oyl. When reminiscing about their time working together, Duvall commented, "Paul and I had such a wonderful creative energy on set. We'd spend hours discussing the nuances of our characters and how to bring them to life." Beyond her professional associations, Duvall enjoyed a close friendship with her The Shining co-star Vivian Kubrick, the daughter of director Stanley Kubrick. Kubrick has been a vocal advocate for Duvall, denouncing the exploitative 2016 Dr. Phil interview that highlighted Duvall's mental health struggles and brought them into the public domain. In 1977, Shelley Duvall graced the stage of the well-loved sketch comedy show Saturday Night Live as a host, where she displayed her comedic prowess. During her appearance, she engaged in a sketch that humorously impersonated her character Olive Oyl, eliciting laughter from the audience through her exaggerated expressions and physical comedy. Nonetheless, Duvall's most contentious television appearance unfolded in 2016 on The Dr. Phil Show, where the focus was on her purported mental health difficulties. This segment sparked widespread criticism for its perceived exploitation of Duvall's vulnerable condition. Vivian Kubrick, Duvall's former co-star, publicly reprimanded the interview, asserting, "Duvall was in a state of anguish and despair, and that should have been obvious to anyone with a conscience." Despite the public outcry, Dr. Phil stood by the interview, expressing, "I have no regrets. I believe we were able to shed light on an important issue and provide resources for those struggling with mental health." This episode underscored the entertainment industry's intricate dynamics with Duvall's personal battles and underscored the necessity for more considerate and ethical methods when dealing with such delicate issues. Shelley Duvall possessed a unique appearance and acting method, characterized by her open and expressive facial features and a quirky, eccentric on-screen demeanor that distinguished her from her contemporaries. Renowned film critic Pauline Kael even likened her to the female Buster Keaton. Duvall had a profound affection for animals, with her pet collection once including 11 dogs, 12 parrots, and a multitude of finches, budgies, and cockatiels. In a 1992 interview, she detailed her menagerie, which comprised 11 dogs, 2 cats, a rabbit, 4 iguanas, 3 lizards, and around 70 birds. From a young age, Duvall exhibited artistic and energetic tendencies, which led to her mother affectionately dubbing her Manic Mouse. During her teenage years, Duvall had an unsettling encounter while shopping at a drugstore when she was approached with an offer to appear in a pornographic film, which she vehemently declined. Years later, when presented with another film role, she was initially suspicious, fearing another unsavory proposition. However, it turned out to be a life-changing opportunity to star in Robert Altman's Brewster McCloud, which marked a significant milestone in her acting career. A common misconception is that Shelley Duvall was related to actor Robert Duvall, but this is not true. Shelley Duvall was actually named in honor of the English novelist Mary Shelley, who is famous for writing the classic novel Frankenstein. Her grandfather was the cowboy Bill Hall, adding a touch of Western heritage to her family background. Shelley Duvall was an admirer of actor Sean Connery, and she agreed to participate in the film Time Bandits 1981, with the belief that she would be working alongside him. However, they did not end up sharing any scenes in the movie. In preparation for her role as Countess Gemini in The Portrait of a Lady 1996, Duvall made a significant effort to learn Italian. She was honored with an induction into the Home Video Hall of Fame in 1985, sharing this distinction with Jane Fonda. 4 of Duvall's films have been recognized by the Library of Congress for their cultural, historical, or aesthetic significance, and have been selected for the National Film Registry. These films are McCabe and Mrs. Miller, 1971, Nashville, 1975, Annie Hall, 1977, and The Shining, 1980. Shelley Duvall, a beacon of talent and resilience, has left us at 75, her journey marked by both brilliance and adversity. If you're a fan, show your support by commenting with the letter S. Let's celebrate her unforgettable contributions to film and television. Remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more engaging content from Iconic
He died 5 years ago now. His children confirm the rumors.
Hi there.
Welcome to a deep dive into the life of David Cassidy, the heartthrob who won over millions. But behind the scenes, his family life was far from idyllic. He passed away 5 years ago, and now his children confirm the rumors. Cassidy, the adored teen idol, had a turbulent personal life. His own family reveals a side of him that starkly contrasts his public image. Stay tuned as we unravel the intricate story of Cassidy's life, a tale of triumphs overshadowed by tribulations as told by those who knew him best, his family. David Cassidy's journey into the limelight was paved from birth, thanks to his parents, Jack Cassidy, a celebrated actor and singer, and Evelyn Ward, an accomplished actress. Growing up in an environment saturated with the arts, it was only natural for David to gravitate towards acting and singing early on. His formative years were spent under the care of his maternal grandparents in West Orange, New Jersey. The details of how his grandparents influenced his musical path remain unclear, but it's evident that his early life was steeped in creativity. The real catalyst for David's plunge into music and acting came when he moved in with his father and stepmother in Irvington, New York. It was in this new setting that David really began to hone his skills. Although the exact genres that shaped his music are not clearly stated, his ability to effortlessly blend different styles stood out as a hallmark of his career. David Cassidy's leap to stardom kicked off in the early 70s with his gig as Keith Partridge on The Partridge Family. This wasn't your average TV show, it was a mix of family drama and pop tunes that caught everyone's attention fast. Almost overnight, Cassidy became a household name. His charm and tunes like I Think I Love You turned him into the heartthrob of the era, but hitting the high notes on the show wasn't a walk in the park at first. Despite his knack for music, the bosses had him on mute initially, only letting him sing for real after he showed them what he was made of. His stint on The Partridge Family wasn't just a job, it was the moment his career hit the fast track. It wasn't just about being on TV. His music made waves too, proving that a TV show could turn a song into everyone's favorite hit. Now, was Cassidy's voice tweaked on the show? Here's the scoop. When The Partridge Family took off, not everyone in the cast was hired for their musical chops. In fact, out of the main crew, only a couple were musicians. Cassidy's backstory is like a drama script, raised by his grandparents more than his parents. He was the last to know they'd split up 2 whole years later, courtesy of a neighbor's tip-off. Then his dad went on to marry Shirley Jones, creating a new family ensemble that included half-brothers Sean, Patrick, and Ryan. Stepping out from the iconic shadow of the Partridge family, David Cassidy made waves as a solo artist, solidifying his legacy in the music realm. His journey from a beloved TV character to a music icon was watched by many, filled with anticipation and excitement. Cassidy shone brightly on his own, delivering chart toppers like Cherish and Rock Me Baby, and proving he could hold the spotlight solo. His live shows were nothing short of spectacular, attracting legions of fans and showcasing his unique connection with audiences through both his music and electrifying performances. This phase of his career was more than just a follow-up to his role as Keith Partridge. It was a powerful declaration of his musical prowess and timeless appeal. It was David's renowned father who nudged him into the limelight, securing his first management and landing him a spot in the Broadway musical The Fig Leaves Are Falling. Despite the show's brief run of only 4 performances, it opened doors for David, leading to guest appearances on hit TV shows like Marcus Welby MD, Bonanza, and Adam 12. His venture into music, marked by hits like Cherish, showcased his talent beyond acting. Interestingly, among the cast of The Partridge Family, only Cassidy and his stepmother Shirley Jones contributed to the musical recordings, with David unaware of Jones's casting as the matriarch until after he secured the role of Keith. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos, please comment OK if you find this video interesting. Thank you. When David Cassidy left us, a lot of folks thought he had about $150,000 to his name. But surprise, surprise, his bankroll was actually closer to $1.68 million. Now, the Partridge Family was like hitting the jackpot when it came to selling stuff. Think records, lunchboxes, you name it, and David even had his own line of goodies. But when it came to what they got paid, well, it wasn't pretty. Danny Bonaduce was pulling in just $400 for each show, sometimes crashing in his car. And David, even though he was the top earner, he maxed out at $600 an episode. Folks loved David so much they'd pay to be part of his fan club, but not a cent of that cash ended up in his pocket. You can bet David wasn't happy. Knowing his face was everywhere, but his wallet didn't show it. So what did he do? He swapped guitars and gear from the set worth about 25 grand. Talk about making a statement. But here's the kicker. When he was just starting, barely out of being a kid himself, he signed a deal saying he'd get 15% from any merch with his mug on it. Reality check, he only ever saw 5 grand of that money. Fast forward to 2011, and David's calling out the big guns, ready to take Sony to court, saying they owed him a whole lot more. But David's story wasn't just about the money he did or didn't make. Despite having a hefty amount to his name later on, his battle with substance abuse took a toll, not just on his wallet, but on his life, in ways money couldn't measure. Sean Cassidy and David Cassidy shared a stepmother, Shirley Jones, making them half-brothers along with Patrick and Ryan. Sean stepped into the limelight, just like David, carving out his own path in acting and singing. The bond between them was special.
Now, this is one of the songs from Blood Brothers.
Especially highlighted by their time together in the Broadway show Blood Brothers. Sean recalls this experience as deeply moving, as it drew them closer to their father's memory. He has always been vocal about his deep love and admiration for David, describing him as incredibly humorous and a joy to be around. I loved and adored him, and he was as funny a guy as you'll ever meet. Their childhood was filled with the typical antics brothers get up to, like epic pillow fights. Sean reminisced about how David would leap from his top bunk, expecting Sean to catch him, a feat Sean admits he never managed. But growing up with David also meant Sean had a close-up view of the darker side of fame. He witnessed firsthand David's battles with the pressures of celebrity and the substance abuse that followed. Sean described these moments as excruciatingly difficult, a testament to the complex nature of family life under the spotlight. Now at 64, Sean has lived longer than his half-brother, carrying with him both the joyful and the challenging memories of their time together. David Cassidy's rise to fame with the Partridge Family was a double-edged sword, bringing him not just global acclaim but a set of challenges that he struggled with privately. His celebrity status attracted overwhelming attention, with mobs of fans and unexpected encounters with admirers, including finding fans uninvited in his personal spaces. Even Susan Dey, his co-star, harbored feelings for him, though she kept her distance until a brief romantic interlude between them. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos. Please comment OK if you find this video interesting. Thank you. In an attempt to shed his wholesome image, David took a bold step in 1972 with a Rolling Stone interview, opening up about drug use and sex. This interview, paired with a controversial nude photo on the magazine's cover, shocked many of his fans. Despite his fame, David felt increasingly isolated, turning to alcohol to numb his loneliness and despair. He openly discussed his struggle with alcoholism. He drank to cover up the sadness and the emptiness. "I never sought the fame, and I was always trying to hide from it."
David's relentless work schedule, comprising long filming days, recording sessions and tours, left him no time for a personal life, leading to exhaustion and a sense of having missed out on vital life experiences. David admitted, "I was burned out from working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week for 5 years. I was doing a television series in the day, I was recording at night, and on weekends I was touring. With a work schedule like that, there was no time for life at all." His battle with alcohol sometimes led to legal troubles, including a DUI arrest that resulted in a rehab order, a period he described as humiliating. For a time, it seemed he had achieved sobriety, but it was a facade. David later confessed to lying about his drinking, acknowledging that even a single drink could devastate him, a prediction that sadly came true. His admission highlighted a prolonged struggle with addiction, a slippery slope that he felt was insurmountable, marking a tragic aspect of his life journey. David Cassidy's decision to exclude his daughter Katie from his will was rooted in their complex relationship. He specified in his will that any mention of child or children referred solely to his son Beau, deliberately leaving Katie out. David clarified this choice by emphasizing that while he was Katie's biological father, he did not play a role in raising her. Katie was brought up by her mother, Sherry Williams, and her stepfather, indicating a significant distance between her and David for much of her life. The will, drafted in 2004, remained unchanged until David's passing, reflecting decisions made during a different time in both their lives. Back then, Katie's career was not as established as it later became, possibly leading David to believe that providing for her financially wasn't necessary, or might even encourage a reliance on his fame rather than her own merits. However, this rationale seems somewhat at odds with David's later feelings toward Katie. Reports suggest that, despite the long-standing estrangement, David and Katie managed to bridge their gap somewhat before his death. Yet despite this reconciliation, David's will remained as he originally wrote it, leaving an unanswered question about the nature of their relationship and his intentions. During his final chapter, David Cassidy met his health challenges head-on, embodying the same openness that had defined him throughout his life. He didn't let these battles stop him from doing what he loved, performing, sharing his music, and connecting with those who supported him. His openness about battling substance abuse and its toll on his life struck a chord with many, painting a picture of a man unafraid to show his vulnerabilities. David's candid reflections, shared in interviews and his autobiography, peel back the curtain on the complexities of fame and the relentless pursuit of artistic satisfaction. Through these honest accounts, Cassidy solidified his legacy not just as a talented artist, but as someone deeply committed to living authentically and fostering genuine connections. Shirley Jones, reflecting on David's passing, shared the fear and heartbreak of watching him spiral. After David announced a dementia diagnosis at 67, he later confessed the true culprit was alcohol poisoning, a sobering admission that he had never fully conquered his demons. Jones expressed a profound dread of losing David, We are just scared to death that we are going to wake up one morning and find out that he is dead on the floor. Despite a desperate need for a liver transplant, it became clear that he wouldn't survive the procedure. On November 21, 2017, the decision was made to remove life support, and the world said goodbye to a beloved teen idol surrounded by his loved ones. In a poignant reflection of their complicated relationship, his daughter Katie shared David's final words, "So much wasted time," a sentiment that encapsulates the bittersweet nature of his final years. David Cassidy's story is much more than the sum of his personal challenges. It's a narrative rich with contributions to music, acting, and beyond. His efforts to leverage his fame for the greater good, though not extensively chronicled, highlight a man eager to use his platform for positive change. Engaging in various charitable causes, Cassidy showed a deep-rooted desire to impact the world positively. In the realm of entertainment, his influence is unmistakable. From his days as Keith Partridge to his ventures as a solo artist, Cassidy left a lasting imprint on the music and television industries. His unique blend of talents and charisma secured him a place in the annals of pop culture. Remembered not just for his celebrity, but for the vibrancy he brought to his work, Cassidy's legacy is a testament to the power of using one's gifts for a purpose beyond personal gain. He navigated the complexities of fame with a mix of vulnerability and resolve, striving to offer more to the world than his artistic contributions. His journey from teen idol to a figure of humanitarian interest underscores a life marked by both dazzling highs and profound lows. Despite the personal battles that shadowed him, Cassidy's commitment to sharing his experiences to enlighten others speaks to his character. His life story, punctuated by both triumphant achievements and struggles, continues to inspire and resonate, serving as a reminder of the impact one person can have on countless others. In reflecting on the life of David Cassidy, we see a tapestry of immense talent, personal struggle, and a desire to make a meaningful impact. Cassidy's journey teaches us that fame and success come with their own set of challenges, ones that require resilience and, sometimes, a willingness to confront one's own vulnerabilities. His decision to leverage his celebrity for humanitarian causes, despite not being widely publicized, underscores the potential to use one's position for the greater good. David Cassidy's legacy in entertainment, as the unforgettable Keith Partridge and a solo artist who captured hearts worldwide, remains undeniable. Yet, it's his personal battles, particularly with substance abuse and the complexities of family relationships, that impart crucial life lessons about the importance of authenticity, seeking help when needed, and the healing power of reconciliation. The decision to exclude his daughter Katie from his will opens up a broader conversation about family dynamics, responsibility, and the nature of legacy. Was David justified in his decision, considering the circumstances of their relationship? Or should he have taken a different path? We invite you to share your thoughts. If you agree with David's decision, comment yes below. If you disagree, comment no. Let's discuss and understand the various perspectives on such a complex issue. Don't forget to like and subscribe to iconicinside for more insights into the lives of those who've left an indelible mark on our culture. Your participation helps us delve deeper into these stories, encouraging a community of understanding, empathy, and engagement. What lessons do you take from David Cassidy's life? Join the conversation.